The president of Zambia saved 40% of the GNP in 36 minutes. A government agency saved 62% of senior management time over 6 months. All of this was made possible by the thinking environment, communication philosophy invented by Nancy Klein, which comprises of 10 components. The components are powerful in their own, but even more powerful when used all together. So thinking environment can transform your meetings, your lessons, your relationship with colleagues, and culture holistically in your organization. So what are the 10 components? Equality is at the heart of the thinking environment and is visible and felt in every process it's applied to. You may be a senior leader or receptionist, yet you are equal in your thinking and should be treated as such. So all ideas from participants are appreciated and valued. Nancy says, let's equate the human mind with a state-of-the-art machine. Cost? $1 billion each. Each has 2 switches, T and F. T for tiny capacity, F for full capacity. We've bought 10 of these things, but let's switch only 3 of them to full. Let's keep the other 7 at tiny. Let's waste $7 billion every day. How about it? This is such a powerful analogy related to equality and its value. Closely linked to it is diversity. Assumptions about superiority, like cockroaches, are the last thing to die. And along the way, thinking, real and diverse and innovative thinking, is stillborn. It seems that when we think as ourselves, we can finally think for ourselves. Until then, we're trying to think like the people who hold open the door. Diversity demands disarming degrees of disinvestment in sameness. This quote makes clear and explicit the importance that every idea has. The promise that every idea would have the attention that it deserves. This is what attention does. It brings about change in a person's thinking by firing up connections and leaps and divings. And like a catalyst, this attention is constant. It's not changed by what the thinker does. And so it's a steady resource for them. They can count on this attention to hold fast, to be intelligent, unconfused, compassionate, unconsumed, and unchanged by where the thinking is going. Therefore, it's no surprise that appreciation is one of the most crucial elements of thinking environment. When the heart's rhythm and pattern are at healthy levels, the cortex gets active. And get this, in the presence of appreciation, the rhythm and pattern of the heart move towards those healthy levels. So appreciation moves through the heart and its 40,000 neurons to stimulate the brain to work better. Once again, appreciation improves thinking. Very nice. This is the effect of appreciation on thinking, but what does encouragement do? Courageous thinking needs freedom from preoccupation with what others are thinking of our thinking. It needs trust, it needs ease, and so it rarely takes place in life's petri dish of competition. Encouragement in a thinking environment is the building of courage to go to the unexplored edge of ideas by eliminating competition between thinkers. This is crucial in leadership teams. And of course, in these times when things change with a dramatic speed, ease is essential. Nancy asks, what is it about 120 steps a minute and tight jaws and pounding hearts that drag us back in such a flash? Why can't we see how brilliant is in birthing brilliance? Why can't we see that brilliance from each person is the point of our work because everything depends on it, and that rush kills it dead, and that because of rush and the death of thinking, the world, not just the valley, is in flames. And ease links very well to the other element of the thinking environment, which is place. This is what Nancy says about it. So now when people choose spaces for thinking, for coaching, for meeting, if they want to help people to think for themselves well, they choose a physical place that welcomes them, that in its simplicity and accessibility, and even, if possible, in its decor, whispers to them, you matter. This should encourage us to think more about where we hold in our meetings. How does the space make participants feel? And yes, feelings are an important element of the thinking environment. Maybe we can change culture. We could start with this simple observation: when someone cries, everything is fine. Really, in fact, everything has just started to get really fine, especially the person's thinking, says Nancy. So we shouldn't be afraid to express our feelings or be in the presence of somebody who expresses their feelings. It's also not uncommon to make assumptions. Assumptions are the reason we think, feel, decide, and do just about everything. The excitement starts when we start noticing them, and then replace the untrue ones with true ones, and put the true ones into that particularly powerful kind of question, an incisive question. A construction the mind makes naturally, I think, anytime it can. So incisive questions can help us unpack our thinking and remove those limiting assumptions, be they about ourselves or about others. And there is another element in the thinking environment which we sometimes underestimate. That is information. Nancy says, whatever the issue, accurate information is crucial to thinking well about it. You could argue that until you have full and accurate information about something, you shouldn't even bother to think about it. So facts, figures, data, all of that matters when it comes to thinking well. These are the 10 powerful components of the thinking environment, illustrated with quotes from Nancy Kline's book, More Time to Think.